Right now, we're going to go to Kevin Cirilli, who's, of course, knee-deep in all of this political process. Kevin, I thought David Plouffe, who ran the Obama campaign, was absolutely brilliant last night over at MSNBC. And now it's about money. Who has the money to affect Nevada, to affect South Carolina, and to go on to Super Tuesday? Of these New Hampshire candidates, who can move forward with a strong budget?
Well, Bernie Sanders, as well as former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Amy Klobuchar is actually going to be in New York today, Tom, trying to fundraise because she got a strong third-place showing. You know, it is about money. You have to mention Michael Bloomberg, who, of course, is pouring an infinite amount of resources into the race. But it's also about momentum. It's also about the grassroots effort, and that's something that Bernie Sanders really is able to seize upon. He's done this before, and you know, his belief and the team around him suggests that he is prepared to do it again. Joe Biden, who had a very disappointing finish in single digits, according to the results last night, is headed to South Carolina, where he gave his speech last night. But candidly, that's where Iowa and New Hampshire really matter. For as much as other candidates who have underperformed like Biden in the beginning of this race or outside candidates like Michael Bloomberg, they don't have momentum. And Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, and to some extent Amy Klobuchar now are able to seize upon momentum. Whether that's worth more than money, we'll find out.
How does the senator from Vermont play in a surprisingly urban, surprisingly union Las Vegas? I mean, I think a huge body of Americans, and frankly our international audience, think it's Las Vegas, the Paris, you know, whatever, all the casinos you go to, Kevin. How does the senator from Vermont play there?
Well, it's about hospitality workers. It's about restaurant workers, union workers, and here's what you and I know, Tom. And this is if I'm waking up or if I'm overseas right now, outside and looking at this, I would put forth this: the folks who run the unions are very different than the coalition of the workers who make them up. Republicans learned that the hard way last election cycle. It'll be interesting to see if Democrats are able to figure out that lesson as well. Union bosses are different than the folks who actually do the work.
But so, Kevin, if you boil it down, is it just all still to play? So, you know, is Joe Biden in real trouble? It seems like there's really mixed messages in terms of the turnout.
Joe Biden is in a lot of trouble. Joe Biden has to win something, and Joe Biden's in trouble. Point blank, there's really no other way to say it. Bernie Sanders has momentum. Buttigieg now has to be able to spin that he's going to be able to pick up some in the centrist lane, that he is able to be the standard bearer for the party. But there's no doubt about it. Here, Joe Biden started this race as a national frontrunner. He ends this race behind Elizabeth Warren. Behind Elizabeth Warren, who also, by the way, had a bad showing yesterday, and she's from neighboring Massachusetts.